Hello and thanks for joining us on Nationwide today. I am Zenret Dingmoon. President Bola Tinubu has transmitted to the Senate two lists of 34 career and 31 non-career ambassadors nominees for screening and confirmation. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, read the executive communications at the commencement of plenary this Thursday. Prominent names listed as non-career ambassadors include Reno Omokri, Femi Fani-Kayode, General Abdurrahman Dambazo, Victor Ikpeazu, and Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. Also listed are Professor Mahmood Yakubu, Vice Admiral Ete Aibas, Senator Jimo Ibrahim, Senator Nora Dadut, Fatima Ajimubi, and Senator Ita Enang, among others. Now, the two lists brings to 68 number of the persons nominated so far as ambassadors awaiting confirmation by the Senate. Meanwhile, Senate has passed for second reading Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act Amendment Bill with provisions to regulate online financial transactions in Nigeria. And security. The National Security Advisor says sustainable peace cannot be achieved by security forces alone, but by a whole-of-society approach to prevent violence and conflict across northern Nigeria. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that this was at a forum organized by the National Peace Committee in Abuja.
Justice and security space.
The message here is clear and urgent. Those who destroy in the name of justice betray justice. The National Security Advisor says peace cannot be outsourced. It must be built collectively, advocating communities and development partners to work in harmony.
Let me therefore use this medium to deliver a clear and firm warning to non-state actors. They are there. The Nigerian state remains resolute in its commitment to law, order, and the protection of its citizens. Any individual or group seeking to exploit communities, spread terror, or undermine national unity will face decisive, coordinated, and uncompromising action.
We support Nigeria in its effort to fight violence and insecurity across the country and address the complex drivers of conflict.
The agreement here is that the country's security challenges can no longer be tackled through the kinetic approach alone.
The whole of society approach means that government must lead, but with humility, transparency, and justice. Religious and traditional rulers must guide, but with courage, to confront extremism, even within their own communities.
Coming together is very important. Talking to one another is very important, but we must do so with all honesty, sincerity, and with the fear of God, knowing that we don't see God, but God sees us and sees our actions.
Officials reiterate that those seeking to exploit communities or undermine national unity will face decisive and coordinated action. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, as efforts to end farmer herders' conflict intensify, particularly in the wake of ongoing harvest season in northern part of the country, a stakeholders meeting was convened by the Emir of Jajere in Yobe State, where community leaders were charged to uphold peaceful coexistence. Adam Yusuf Ali reports.
The issue of farmers' herders conflict predates the existence of Nigeria, even though these two groups live close to each other, but many at times at loggerheads because of interest on grazing and farming. This gathering at the palace of Emir of Jajere in Babangida, Tarumo local government area in Yobe State, one of the hotspot of farmers' herders conflict, was summoned by royal father to appraise the situation as harvest season is ongoing, as well as strategize approaches to acting on early warning signs.
We charge them to be law-abiding citizens in all the places that they find themselves. Secondly, we call them to send their wards to school so that without education, no any meaningful development take place in any community or society. Furthermore, we highlight them on the need for them to live peace and other, especially with the host communities they find themselves.
We are calling on all farmers and herders. They are one people, so they have to live together peacefully.
They also appeal for government at all levels to provide modern facilities and technological support for livestock rearing, including modern ranching system and protecting and revitalization of cattle routes in Damaturu. Adam Yusuf Ali, NTA News.
Our Coordinator Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, has urged the European Union to step forward and assume a stronger leadership role in global public health. Now, this was contained in an address to the International Development Committee of the European Parliament at the EU headquarters in Brussels, Belgium. Reflecting on the significant progress achieved over recent decades in combating HIV, tuberculosis and malaria through global solidarity and strong multilateral cooperation, Professor Pate emphasized that Europe's upcoming financial commitments to the Global Fund should align with the continent's economic capacity. He highlighted that many developing nations transition away from aid dependency and increasingly mobilize domestic resources for health. Europe remains critical.
For Europe, not an option. I believe that we all win if we invest in taking care of our basic humanity. So I plead that we choose courage, we choose partnership, and we choose to finish what we started. Because a world free of HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, and other diseases is possible with research, with innovation, with resources, and by keeping together. It is not a dream, it's a decision that we will have to make. And it is a decision we must make together.
250 persons living with disabilities across Osun State have benefited from the Renewed Hope Initiative Economic Empowerment of Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu in commemoration of the 2025 International Day of Persons with Disabilities. The distribution of cash gifts was done through the wife of the Osun State Governor, Mrs. Titilola Adeleke, at the Government House in Osogbo, the Osun State capital. Kayode Oladosun has the details.
Every 3rd of December, the world commemorates the International Day of People with Disabilities with the purpose of promoting an understanding of disability issues and stimulate support for the dignity, rights, and well-being of persons with disabilities, PWD. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, through the wife of Osun State Governor Titilola Adeleke, empowered the community of people living with disability with a sum of 200,000 naira each as business recapitalization.
This program aligns with the Renew Hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which seek to promote inclusive growth and shared prosperity by ensuring that no Nigerian is left behind.
It is a thing that we cannot express by word of mouth, but if you see by our attitude or our behavior, you know that we are very glad.
The wife of Osun State Governor further assured the community of persons with disability in the state that the present administration will continue to support any effort towards inclusive development of PWDs in Osun State. In Osogbo, Kayode Oladosun, NTA News.
Similarly, another more than 200 persons with disabilities in Kaduna State have received the sum of 200,000 naira each as intervention from the wife of the President, Oluremi Tinubu, to cushion the effect of the economy. The donation was presented to the beneficiaries by the Kaduna State Commissioner for Business Innovation. Mohammed Umar Adingi reports.
The fiscally challenged persons from across the 23 local government area of Kaduna State arriving to receive financial support. Abigail Michael, who lives with a physical disability, is one of them on her wheelchair, trying to reach the venue, determined not to miss the opportunity provided by the First Lady, who has assembled this cash support for them.
A wonderful experience to see the wife of our president
help people with disability with this kind of amount is so alarming. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful to her.
Many others like Abigail, living with one form of disability or another, have gathered here to receive financial assistance of 200,000 naira each.
In recognition of our shared responsibility to promote inclusion, the governing board of the Renewed Hope Initiative has resolved to the Economic Empowerment Program an annual event to be held on December 3rd in commemoration of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities.
Despite their challenges, some of them step forward singing and dancing, expressing their appreciation with a special song dedicated to the First Lady. For many of them, this gesture represents genuine inclusion, an action that goes beyond public discussions and promises. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umarajingi, NTA News.
Now, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has bagged the Business Day Newspaper 2025 Award of Excellence in Public Service. The government spokesman at the occasion urged Nigerians to remain united, committed and purposeful as the federal government's efforts to build a secure Nigeria remain steady. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
It was a night of recognition and appreciation by a private organization to outstanding public servants with a positive impact in the implementation of the Renewed Hope policies across ministries, departments and agencies. The 5 pillars of the Ministry of Information and National Orientation under the watch of Mohammed Idris, redefining government communication strategy, promoting press freedom, that are adding value to the prospect of Nigeria's media ecosystem and attracting global attention, was the basis of this recognition.
One key milestone in this journey is the establishment of the UNESCO Category 2 Media and Information Literacy Institute. The presence of this Category 2 Institute here in Abuja underscores the growing leadership that Nigeria has acquired in fostering an informed and ethical and resilient information environment. I am therefore very grateful that these collective efforts have been acknowledged on this esteemed platform here today. It is one that I believe celebrates excellence, celebrates reform and innovation in public service.
Participants, including former President Goodluck Jonathan, represented praised the forum as a unifier that should be harnessed to promote morals and professional ethical standards, good governance and accountability.
Interrogate our challenges and explore practicable and implementable solutions that can strengthen institutions, stimulate innovations, and drive inclusive economic transformation.
We continue to beat ourselves. Sometimes when you go onto social media, you continue to see negative comments about Nigeria. It's time for us to put that aside and do what other countries do, which is push out the positive.
This platform believes giving a pat on the back of outstanding public servants will enhance productivity, fast-track development, and strengthen national unity. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
It's time now to join Hingino John Adams in Lagos for stories from that zone. Hello, Hingino. It's good to see you.
All right, and welcome to Lagos. Stakeholders in the nation's agricultural sector are putting finishing touches to validate the national agroecology strategy, which seeks to replace chemical-based boosting of farm yields that are not environment-friendly with organic ones. Lanre Gbele, who was at the summit, reports that the strategy is anchored on public-private partnership in ensuring that it has an agribusiness edge.
Here we have stakeholders in the farming sector in the country discussing and adopting a blueprint of agroecology that is using organic fertilizers and pesticides instead of the chemical-based ones. Participants, while stressing the importance of the summit, believe it's a redesign that took into consideration the nation's food system and the environment using agroecology strategic inputs.
So agroecology is a nature-based solution to climate change in food production. We have come up with a draft national strategy on agroecology.
One of the reasons why we are having challenges and difficulty in the export of our commodities is because of the application of chemical fertilizers.
Issues such as ensuring access to sustainable conservation and management of natural capital, accelerating farmers' transition to agroecology, strengthening fair supply chains and fostering entrepreneurial culture were at the center of discussions here.
We have noticed that, the natural environment have been tampered with. Number one, if you till the soil, too much use of chemical fertilizer have destroyed the soil. So now the crops now depend on chemical fertilizer to grow.
So youths in agriculture are now doing everything possible to ensure that agroecology and climate resistance is of our forefront.
This strategy will move from technical draft into government-approved framework guiding agricultural planning, research, extension system, and budget allocation to the subnational governments. In Lagos, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
From agriculture now, every bolt, every decision, every second counts in aviation safety. Experts are amplifying strong policies and systems that will further protect those whose lives depend on safe skies every single day. From pilots and engineers to everyday passengers, the conversations are focused deeply on the human side of trust, safety, and governance in Nigeria's aviation sector. Conversations echoing among aviation industry players are centered on safety, with the belief that safety is not an action, but a state of being which millions of travelers rely on each year, trusting that every flight will take off and land exactly as expected.
We are putting steps, we're putting measures, policies in place to ensure that we give what the passengers, what our customers need to them.
Nigerian aviation is booming. We've got the maximum number of private jets. If you look at all over the world, private jet industry is growing. In Nigeria, we have a huge opportunity here. It's time we take advantage, and I can see the new government is putting all the effort in there, and we also want to be a part of that.
As Nigeria records growing demand for air travel, stakeholders examine the condition of the country's aerodromes, with some as old as 20 to 40 years.
The air navigation services like communication, navigation, and services, many of those things were set up in around 1979. What we just need to do, maintain them, overhaul them, open our terminals.
We want to digitize our systems so that you could log into a system and be able to monitor, processes without so much of hassles.
Industry players are advocating stronger collaboration, more capacity development, and the use of smarter technologies to ensure that aircraft remain secure as they travel thousands of kilometers per hour through Nigeria's airspace. That's it from Lagos. Nationwide will continue with Zenret after the break.
Thanks for staying with us on Nationwide. Now, the tripartite-funded free hydrocele surgery in Delta State is yielding good results. Now, Helen Dunku reports that many people have benefited from the exercise.
Beneficiaries of the free hydrocele surgery have bigger smiles as their confidence is fully restored after the successful operations.
Many poor people know feel capacity motor. God used this man to secure many of them. God bless them.
I want to say a big thank you to Qatar Foundation for handling my problem.
Delta State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onojame, is thankful for the collaboration between the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Services, Delta State Government, and the Carter Center for the Humanitarian Gesture.
We did over 100 successful hydrocelectomy in the selected 3 facilities. One at Asaba Specialist Hospital, that covering Delta North, Eku Baptist Hospital covering Delta Central, then Central Hospital, Warri, covering Delta South. And there is a follow-up team who are following up on the patient who received these free surgeries.
The good news is that the surgery recorded no casualty. In Asaba, Helen Dunku, NTA News.
And as a follow-up to that report, our correspondent Helen is live from Asaba. Hello, Helen. Tell us what's going on. Are there future plans to replicate this gesture in coming years?
Good evening, Zenret. Actually, the free hydro seal surgery in Delta State had so many beneficiaries, and the operation was a huge success. A lot of people, both indigenous and non-indigenous residents in Delta State, we are part of this surgery. And the ones that are sufferers are coming out of their shell, irrespective of the stigma that goes with this ailment, looking for help from the state government and the organizers of this program. Here with me is the director for Carter Center, Edo Delta State, Dr. Emma Emoka, who is here to tell us more about the future plans. Dr. Emma.
Thank you very much. Our future plans are really great for Delta State. We have plans for training additional doctors in Warri General Hospital, Eku Baptist Hospital, and we also are going to train more nurses and other health workers. Currently, we are training more health facility workers in the primary health centers to help us in the management of people already suffering from elephantiasis. And this plan is a continuous one, and we thank the donors for providing the resources for this campaign that we did in Delta State. So,
thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. We are hopeful that in 2026, just like he has told us, a lot of people will be benefiting from this free surgery. Over to you, Zenret.
Okay, thank you, Helen. We hope to hear more good news from that end. Now, President Bola Tinubu joins family, friends, and well-wishers to celebrate an extraordinary industrialist, Prince Samuel Adedoyin, as he clocks 90 years. Now, in a statement fed Special Advisor Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the president describes Prince Adedoyin as a national icon with decades of footprints in the manufacturing sector, displaying uncommon vision, discipline, and generosity, saying the celebrant's life journey remains a shining testament to what is possible through faith. He says he prays that the Almighty grants him continued grace, strength, peace, and joy in the years ahead. And to education, the federal government says another significant milestone under the Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET initiative with the commencement of the first tranche of direct financial payments to students and independent technical vocational centers nationwide. Minister of Education Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa says over 42,000 young Nigerians have received their monthly stipend of 22,500 naira, which covers their monthly upkeep and transportation, and over 600 independent technical and vocational training centers have also received payments for instructional and skills training they are providing to these students, ensuring the quality and continuity of the training programs. He adds that the TVET is another success story under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, demonstrating his belief that Nigerian youths are the heartbeat of the nation. Now, Nigerians across several socio-political affiliations defiled differences to rally round one Nigeria project in the spirit of national stability and progressive governance of the country. And this was during a national conference organized by former elected local government chairmen in the 774 local government areas. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
The assemblage of men and women here constitutes more than 90% of politicians and more than half now at state and national levels, and the office that brought them to prominence is that of the local government chairman.
It's high time for us to come together, to remain together, ensure that we put the country first.
And if we multiply over the years by succession, you can see the army that is ready to fight the insurgent by talking to them, by making them realize that greatness of this country relies in our unity.
Now the survival of Nigeria as a sovereign nation is anchored on the slogan of One Nigerian Project, championed by eminent Nigerians who believed the current challenges faced by the country is surmountable.
May we all resolve to be focused on those things that unite us and avoid issues, whether bordering on religion or ethnicity, that will threaten the foundation of our collective unity.
Even the white dresses that adorned the atmosphere demystified the intention of what the country needs at the moment, which is beyond religion and other primordial sentiments. Effective grassroots governance is clearly pointed out as a starting point to drive the campaign, with homegrown solutions as crucial in solving challenges of growth and development. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
And the Nigeria Governors Forum is mobilizing commissioners for education nationwide and key players in the education sector on thematic areas to drive implementation of critical components of Safe School Initiative, vocational skills, and education financing. As an immediate measure, the forum has set up a technical committee to fine-tune the approach and methodology of implementation. Correspondent Abubakar Akwanga again reports.
The deplorable state of education at some levels of subnational government is charging this engagement as a clearinghouse for an agenda setting ahead of the proposed summit. Now, thought-provoking issues on the table are education financing, peer review, curriculum development, Safe School Initiative, and vocational skills.
The current financing structure are insufficient to address emerging realities. The 2025 National Nigerian Education Forum will therefore spotlight innovative financing frameworks, including public-private partnerships, endowment models, industry-driven research funding, community investment platforms, and technology-enabled cost-efficient solutions.
The event formatted in such a way that we'll have 3 key themes for the event: access and continuity, learning and skills, and basically the focus based on the theme, education financing. And it's going to be arranged in such a way that all layers of education are part of it: basic, senior secondary, technical and vocational education, and higher education.
The summit will also be deploying more strategies through technical sessions by stakeholders in changing the narratives of education for a better future for all. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Now, Sokoto is our next stop on Nationwide, and Sadia will be our guide. Hello, Sadia.
Thanks for joining us. The Renewed Hope initiative of Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has provided cash support for persons with disabilities, reinforcing government's effort to empower them and ensure their inclusion in national development. The initiative, which is part of the 2025 International Day of Persons with Disabilities observance, is to cover 9,250 beneficiaries across the country. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu reports.
Thousands of persons with disabilities continue to go through daily life with resilience, even as access to education, skills training, and healthcare remains critical to bridging the gap between exclusion and opportunity. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, represented at the commemoration of the 2025 International Day of Persons with Disabilities in Sokoto, is addressing this by rolling out a nationwide empowerment program targeting 9,250 persons under her pet project, the Renewed Hope Initiative. The beneficiaries cut across the 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, with 250 persons supported in each state with 200,000 naira as part of activities to commemorate this year's International Day of Persons with Disabilities. The First Lady noted that the annual intervention is designed to promote self-reliance and resilience among persons with special needs.
A really inclusive society is built when we stand together, creating opportunities that empower everyone to contribute their unique gifts to our collective progress.
Special Advisor to the Sokoto State Governor on Disability Matters says ongoing reforms will strengthen vocational training, expand social support, and enhance compliance of public facilities with accessibility standards.
Government has generously provided 1,000 hand cycles to ease movement for the physically challenged individuals across the state.
I'm very happy for seeing people together with the people with disability, meaning that people with disability are human beings like everybody.
We are very happy as we come to this government house to witness the International Day of Persons with Disability. We need this program to continue.
The theme for this year's International Day of Persons with Disabilities is fostering disability-inclusive societies for advancing social progress. In Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army has reaffirmed its commitment to sustaining intensified operations aimed at eliminating bandits, insurgents, and all forms of criminality across the Northwest region. The Theatre Commander's Sector 2 Joint Task Force Operation Fansanyama, Major General Idris Wara, who gave the assurance, emphasized that the military will leave no stone unturned in its determination to secure the nation and decisively neutralize all threats posed by its adversaries. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa has details.
The operational tour aims to boost the morale of the frontline troops of the Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fansanyama as they intensify onslaught against enemies of the state. Addressing the troops, the new theater commander, Major General Wara Idris, stated that his visit is also to assess their performance, review training protocols, and evaluate welfare of the soldiers. He asked them to prepare themselves psychologically for a new and high-intensity pace of operations aimed at eliminating bandits and Lakura armed groups. The theater commander emphasized that victory can only be achieved through courage, dedication, discipline, and sacrifice made by the troops in the service of the nation.
With your good work, we shall push you for more. We are not going to relent on what we have been doing. Rather, we shall improve on it, bring back peace and security in the Northwest region and in Nigeria as a whole.
General Wara, who also interacted with soldiers wounded in action, pledged that they will receive the best possible medical care, reassuring them that the army leadership remains deeply concerned about their welfare. The general later visited the 248 Battalion in Ilela, a local government area that shares international border with Niger Republic, where he addressed and had lunch with the frontline troops. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
And those are the news updates from here. Nationwide will continue with Zenreth in Abuja, but that will be right after this break. Do stay.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Get ready for a special Christmas celebration like no other.
Join us on Sunday, December 7, 2025 at the National Christian Center, Central Business District, Abuja for the FRCN, NTA and Vaughan service of 9 lessons and carols.
Theme of 2025 is
Jesus our Strength.
With a charge from Reverend Dr. William Okoye.
The service of 9 lessons and carols live on FRCN, NTA and Vaughan. Sunday, December 7, 2025
at 3 p.m. Be there
at the National Christian Center, Central Business District, Abuja.
Don't miss the service of 9 lessons and carols live on FRCN, NTA, and
Now join the 29th ECOWAS anniversary of ECOWAS Parliament. I beg your pardon. That's the much we can take on nationwide.